Eid Mubarak to you all. And today I'm here at the Embassy of Pakistan in Finfinne City to talk to the newly appointed ambassador, Ambassador Shozab Abbas. And he's going to tell us about the Pakistan and Ethiopian relationship, of course. And he also would tell us about his personal profile, some areas he worked in, and how he planned to strengthen the relationship with Ethiopia, and also about aid. And watch that. I'm Honored Khalil, your host. Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, welcome.
Thank you so much, my dear.
Tell me about yourself, a little bit, your profile, from your childhood and your education, your diplomatic missions and works, and so on and so on.
Right. So, I born in Pakistan, in the Pakistan's biggest province, Punjab. You know, Pakistan has 4 provinces. Punjab, in terms of population, is the biggest, but in terms of area, it is Balochistan. So we have 4 provinces: Punjab, Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Sindh. And my hometown is Faisalabad, and this is a center of textile industry in Pakistan.
Faisalabad. And the capital Islamabad.
Islamabad, exactly. And the Faisalabad is the center of textile industry. We are exporting about more than $4 billion textiles and its associated industries to the world. Wow. So you can see that my city is the pivot of our national economy.
So that experience will come to Ethiopia. We'll be back to that point later. What about education and your education background?
I did my master's in geographical sciences, and later when I joined the Foreign Office, I went to Geneva University for doing my environmental diplomacy, and still my areas of interest are water and environment.
Have you worked as an ambassador in different countries before Ethiopia?
This is my first ambassadorial assignment.
Wow.
Before coming here, I was Pakistan's diplomat, served in the United Nations, New York. And then after that, I had the privilege to serve in Doha, Qatar.
Oh.
Yes, and the third one was in London, and the last posting was in Beijing.
Oh, from all the east and the west and central corners of the world. And you came to Ethiopia for the first time?
First time.
Well, how have you got Ethiopia? I mean, what impression did you have? And then after your arrival, what have you seen?
Yeah, unfortunately, I would say that in many parts of Pakistan, people don't know much about Ethiopia. They believe that Ethiopia is a far-off country and it's a desert country. This is the picture in the mindset of many people in Pakistan. But believe me, this is the nearest country, the first country which gives entrance to African continent from Pakistan. If there is a direct flight available from Karachi to Addis Ababa, it takes only 3.5 hours. That's the maximum. So Ethiopia, but my personal experience when I reached here, I found is an astonishing and amazing country. First of all, it's salubrious environment, very beautiful weather all around the year. This is my fifth month in your country, and I found that the entire weather of my stay remained very pleasant. And now the rainy season has set in. It's given me another aroma of beautiful, your soil.
And you haven't traveled to different parts of that?
I traveled. I went to Tigray.
Okay, you went there?
Yes, and then I went to Ankobar, the nearest area, and many visits to Djibouti.
Okay, Djibouti.
Yeah,
okay.
Because I'm also accredited to Djibouti and South Sudan.
Yeah, because you replaced the previous ambassador, and he was also ambassador, the residing ambassador in Addis Ababa, in Finfinne, and also other countries. And by the way, you went to Tigray, and what did you see? The situation there, what the government is doing? I need your comment as well.
Yes, I met there the chief executive of the new administration there, and General Johannes, those who was the one from the military side taking care of the entire operation. And we witnessed many parts of Tigray, and especially in the Mekelle, the capital. The situation is getting better, alhamdulillah, and I would say that the efforts of the government is doing well, and the results of normalizing situation there, opening the roads and starting normal life operation is carried on. So the situation is getting better day by day.
Ah, good thing to hear from you because you witnessed that by yourself. And do you have other plans to move around in Ethiopia?
Yes, I have plenty of plans to visit all the regional capitals of your country, the 10 regions of Ethiopia, and then visit one by one in coming days.
What is your plan to strengthen the relationship between Pakistan and Ethiopia? I mean, former ambassadors have been also doing, recognizable and promising things, of course.
Look, Pakistan is a developing country like your country, and we have a very strong historical relations. When it was Emperor Haile Selassie, the president of Pakistan, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, visited 1972. And since then, we have been in a regular contact at different levels. Our embassy has been working there since then. And last year, in the last couple of years, my Prime Minister Imran Khan and Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, they met both in Beijing on the eve of Belt and Road Forum. And then Prime Minister also met with the President of Ethiopia, Madam Zewde, at the sidelines of the UN Security Council meeting. So the high-level contacts are there, and they are very, very lucrative and very constructive. And I hope that in the coming days, the relationship would definitely go to the next level. All my efforts are that we need to push our relations from this current level to the next level, especially in the domain of economic diplomacy, social and cultural interactions between the two nations, and also the academic and student exchanges.
Many Pakistani companies are investing in Ethiopia.
Yes.
Have you visited them? And are you ready to call many Pakistani companies to invest in Ethiopia? And what are the conditions that you tell them to come to Ethiopia?
True. The economic relations between Pakistan and Ethiopia are growing very fast. The current level of our bilateral trade is touching around 50 million US dollars. But keeping in view the potential of these two countries, I believe that this is not up to the mark. It needs to be increased more. Currently, as you asked, there are two major sectors which are working here. One is the textile, and second is halal food industry. These are the two industries which are actually working here in your country, and Pakistani investors are here, and they're big plants, those who are working, producing a lot of textile and halal food for the export purposes to Middle Eastern countries and European and American continent.
Pakistan is a country of over 200 million population.
Yes.
But nuclear owner, of course, thanks to Dr. Abdulkadir Khan of yours, he has done that great thing, and I don't know if he's alive or not.
You know about him?
Yeah, I read a lot of things because people who work for their country, I always respect them, whoever they are. And but what about in technology transfer? Are you supporting Ethiopia in this case?
Pakistan's scientific base is very strong, I tell you, especially in the areas of agriculture, robotic engineering, science and technology, and Pakistan is very much ready to provide the technology which we have, especially in the area of textile industry, agriculture industry, food and beverages, and these are the areas where we have a comparative advantage than the Ethiopians. And the only need is to connect the Pakistani business community with the Ethiopian business community so that they can learn each other's environment and make some joint ventures to come and start working in Ethiopia. Because I believe that the Ethiopian investment climate is lucrative and they definitely would love to come here, provided our interrelationship with the trading and economic community should set in.
Well, as we are in the holiday, and there is the first mosque in Africa, in Ethiopia, that Al-Najashi in Wukro area in Tigray. Have you visited that area? Do you know that?
Not yet.
So how can you promote Ethiopia to Pakistan? You know what I mean? The first mosque, imagine, where these Sahabas of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, came in here in Ethiopia and got refuge and so and so. Why don't you tell this to the Muslim world, like your country, for instance?
Absolutely. You raised a very good question, and question which is in my heart. And you believe me that when I presented my credentials to President Ziude here, the first thing I mentioned her was this point, that your country is a blessed country. This soil is a blessed soil. Why? Because when the people of Prophet in Makkah were persecuted by the kuffars, Prophet said that Allah has given him order to send his people to Ethiopia, to Habasha. So a first contingent under the leadership of Hazrat Jafar-e-Tayyar, the Prophet's cousin, came along with the 13 people and landed at the shore of your country. And there, the very generous and kind king, Najashi, he welcomed them, he listened to them, and he said that your point of view is perfectly the religious point of view, and you're the God-fearing people. And I will provide you the refuge and protection. As long as you wish to stay in this country, you are allowed to live here. So the first, blessings by the people of Ethiopia was bestowed upon the people of Makkah, who came here and took refuge. So that debt is still on us, the Muslim community of the world. So I myself give full refuge and full homage to your country, homage to your late king, and homage to the ancestry of that king. And that I conveyed to your president during my first meeting, first. And secondly, the great personality without whom the Prophet never get up to lead the prayer was Hazrat Bilal Habashi, the muazzin of Prophet's, the companions. So his stature is beyond description. He is such a great and high and noble man who sacrificed everything for the cause of Islam. So definitely these are the two major things. And I suggested to President during my meeting that more than 2 million people only from Pakistan and the rest of the world came to Makkah every year. Why not you start building connections?
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. I suggested her that why not you build connections with that community which come every year for Hajj and millions for Umrah every day, except in the brackets because of these COVID days there's some restrictions, but used to be. So why not you make a connections to them, and I being a Pakistani ambassador would definitely love to promote this aspect, to go to ask Pakistanis to come and see that big personalities, the shrines of those people, the graves of those Sahabas buried here on this noble land. So I'm 100% sure that the people of Pakistan, those who are very spiritual like you, here I also found even Christians, Muslims are very, very devoted and very, very, passionate towards religion, and they spend a lot of their time in prayer of God. So I believe that this avenue needs to be explored between Pakistan and Ethiopia, between Ethiopia and Saudi Arabia, the Muslim community, so that they come and see with their own eyes the people, those who had served in the past for the cause of Islam, and raise this religion to this level.
Yeah, had it not for their contribution, Islam wouldn't have been stronger like this, and haven't reached to other parts of the world. And that's why I read. When I talk to many Muslim ambassadors and other even from Muslim world, I tell them, don't you know the area where the first Sahabas of Prophet Muhammad came and arrived in Ethiopia and got refuge? That is the area. No, the mosque is still standing there.
Yes.
And Wukro in Tigray area. I repeatedly said because of that. And also other shrines, by the way. If you go to down Bali area in Oromia, you find a shrine of Sheikh Hussein.
Sheikh Hussein, yes.
And known ulama, and a known wali, of course, with that knowledge. What message do you have for Muslims while celebrating this holiday? What do Muslims should do? What do you recommend?
Yes, of course. You see, if you look at the Muslim community around the world, you will see definitely two things which are very, very deficient in their present day's character. One is the lack of education. And second, not re-exploring their heritage. These are the two things I think the Muslims of present age, especially the youth, should focus on it. Education is very important in the current world. Why the West and Americans and others are growing very fast? Why they are ahead of us? Simply, very simple answer, that they are more educated than us. And why we are not getting education? Simply because we are not interested in education. So these are the two things where I believe that we should put more efforts to empower our youth, to provide more and more opportunities for their education and their learning. Secondly, we should take pride in our heritage. We are Muslims and we belong to a very noble religion. The religion which teaches us how to live peacefully in this world. You know, the word Islam is from the salamati, salama, meaning bow down, peace. Bow down to the will of God. Will of God is not to divide. Will of God is to bring the people closer to each other. So we are not to create hatred against others. We are here to create love and fraternity for others. So I believe that the people from the Islamic faith, they have the full capacity and full potential to understand that how Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, lived during his life in Makkah and Medina, and how close and fraternal relationship he built with the communities of Christians and with the communities of Jews. We are not here to divide the humanity. We are here, our teachings, our Quran, the seerah of Rasulullah, these are all the main sources of our guidance and education. And the guidance from them is one thing: create love for humanity and live together for the peace, for the betterment and for the development of whole humanity.
How is the celebration in Pakistan, the Eid? How did you celebrate that? Is it the first time in Ethiopia to celebrate Eid?
I have to celebrate Eid here.
For the first time?
First time, but I have celebrated the two Christians here. Timkit, yes, and the other is the Good Friday.
The Good Friday, Easter.
When I reached here, at the very second week of my stay in your country, I paid a courtesy call to the Patriarch of Ethiopia and conveyed the good wishes from President of Pakistan and from the Prime Minister of Pakistan, from the people of Pakistan, and also said that we are here for the development and welfare of the people of Ethiopia, and Pakistan will definitely play its constructive role to contribute for the development of your society in whichever manner you ask to Pakistan.
Many countries give scholarship to Ethiopian students. You told me earlier that we do have academic relationship. But make it precise. What kind of scholarship are you giving to Ethiopian students?
Yes. When I was in university, late back in 2000 and around that, 1998, 2000, we have many friends from Ethiopia, those who were studying together with us in the universities. And you can see many African nationals, students studying in Pakistan. Nowadays, that trend has gone down. I don't know why it has gone down, but still the other segment which has tremendously increased is from the religious seminaries. The people from the religious schools, they used to go to Pakistan and get studies. But the other normal education and the universities and colleges, that number has gone down. I wish, and I also spoken to the Prime Minister last time that...
Is Excellency Imran Khan or Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed?
Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed.
All
I
right.
spoke to him and I said that I wish that our student exchange program should be reactivated and people from Ethiopia should go to Pakistan and study medicine, engineering, law, sciences, social sciences, all disciplines. In Pakistan now the private sector is also thriving very, very fast. And there are a number of universities, more than 100 universities in the private sector. Earlier, when I was a student, there were only the public universities, and then the number of public universities was about 40. It has now increased to 200. So in total, private and public, there are around 200 universities. And we can provide ample seats to our Ethiopian brethren, students to come and study in different disciplines and different areas in Pakistan.
things have been raised, but you think important regarding the relationship between Ethiopia and Pakistan, because these countries are together some 300 million people size, and the population larger. Also, proximity is there, very close. Like you raised earlier. So, what can you add and what can you say about this kind of thing that have been raised? What would you do that have been raised about it?
Eid is the blessing of Allah. Once all Muslims complete the month of fasting, which taught you how to sacrifice for others, how to live for others, how to build fraternity among different religious groups. The Eid is gift of it. So ultimate, desire or ultimate intent of God or Islam is to build fraternity. And Eid is the symbol of fraternity. All people from all sides, they come, they have a large congregations in one mosques. They celebrate Eid, they pray to God, and they thank to their Allah that all blessings you have given to us, we are really grateful for it. So I believe that Eid, the message of Eid is love and fraternity. And from the people of Pakistan and from my government and my own behalf, I like to congratulate the people of Ethiopia and wish that the fraternity which exists here among three major monolithic religions should continue as it is, and rather it become more stronger and stronger.
Wow. But one important thing that we haven't raised, what can you say about coronavirus pandemic?
Corona is a scourge, I believe, is a scourge because the human, when I was a student, we read about the environmental threshold. The number of people living on planet Earth at this time and the resources which are given to us, there is a clash in between. So that clash many times manifests in different forms. Now that clash has emboldened the small germs to be more powerful. That is how this corona has actually emerged. We don't know. There are so many conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
But no, the scientific analysis is that there is a severe competition in this entire ecosystem, that how the human beings, how the plants, how the stones, lithographs, lithospheres, atmosphere, they constitute one ecosystem. And God has created a balance in it. Even Quran has mentioned that we created this universe with balance.
Balance.
But whenever there is an increase in some component and decrease in another component, it starts creating a competition. Now the germs are perhaps more stronger.
Yeah, borderless, boundaryless nations, citizenless,
Exactly.
germs.
They are more powerful now.
Yeah.
And they are teaching us a lesson that bow to God. Come to the reality. Come to nature. You are living beyond the limits of nature. This is the message from this germ to the humanity. This is a philosophical reply to your answer, but I believe in it. I believe in it. So we need to review our living lifestyle, and readjust ourselves according to the given circumstances and given nature. We are exploiting nature with a very bad speed.
But has your country survived, of course, this pandemic? And
there is no country which is not, is facing this pandemic. All 190 countries are facing this problem, and different countries have different capacities. Some are very advanced. Some are even you have seen in the United States, you have seen in Brazil, you have seen in
India,
UK, India.
Yeah.
They are all suffering. It is suffering for humanity, and there is a need to come together. Exchange your scientific researches, exchange your resources together, and distribute to the entire human race for their survival, for their, what you call it? Existence.
Wow. In Ethiopia, it has also killed over 3,000 people, and
this killing will continue as long as we will not create a balance.
That unity and balance.
There is a problem. There is a problem between our lifestyle and the nature. Nature is teaching us calling us, come and understand what the capacities I hold for you. You are going beyond it. As the Quran says that we have created man, but it transgresses from his path. So it is a transgression from the main path. It is a transgression and it is a conflict with nature. Let's reorganize ourselves together. Let's accumulate our resources and energy together and start fighting for that disease which is actually killing us. It is now a common enemy. It is not a territorial or geographical entity. It is not for Ethiopians, it is not for Indian, it is not for Pakistan.
It is
for
an international item.
It is for all. And if you look at the epidemiological history, you will find that these diseases have attacked many times to humans. And humans have taken over, empowered. I hope very soon we will get over it.
Thanks so much. Well, His Excellency Ambassador Shozab Abbas, Ambassador of Pakistan to Ethiopia, we talked a lot about, the odds, the evens, the ups and downs, the ideas, starting from his personal profile, of course, and the areas he visited in Ethiopia, in connection to Eid al-Fitr, or the celebration of Eid. Eid Mubarak is a blessed Eid for you. Eid al-Fitr. After 2 months, we will celebrate Eid al-Adha or Arafah together. Maybe I will talk back again to the ambassador or any other ambassador from Muslim nation in the world in Ethiopia here. Thanks for watching. And once again, I wish you happy Eid, Eid Mubarak to all of you, all over the world. Bye-bye. I'm an your host.